Conley gets back to penetrate deep within the team's defense inside the lane, but stay spread and then kick it out for open three-point shots. A tough matchup for Denver.
Oh, look at the Joker just dropping off to Millsap
at the beginning of the game.
You're going to watch Torrey Craig. Now, he held Mitchell to 4 points in a regular season matchup, but he fouled out in game 1. So staying on the floor more than 21 minutes is going to be critical. The corner three and handle there. So now will Ingles handle more to give Mitchell a break off the ball? That'll be something to watch.
Yeah, and also depends on what kind of defensive adjustments that the Nuggets have made to get the ball out of Mitchell.
And so Utah off to a nice beginning with 2 made triples.
Ingles coming off 19 points in game 1.
Jokic and Gobert. You can watch that matchup with all the smalls.
Allows Gobert to have more room to work with. Also, he spreads the court a lot more for the drivers to be able to get down deep in the lane.
Murray probing, a little behind the back. And Jokic got away with that little elbow twice, a couple of times. And I don't know if they thought Gobert was flopping.
In front of the official, too, so obviously the official didn't think the contact came there, but I'm sure we'll get it on a replay to see the actual play.
You've got Zach Zarba, Pat Frere, and Michael Smith, 3 incredibly experienced officials. And Gobert down the lane to lay it up and in. Field goal and the foul.
Initiate a lot of the offense, so they are comparable numbers.
So Murray missing the 3. Denver started 0 for 2 from deep. That deflected. Mitchell will save the turnover. Shot clock at 9. Spider Mitchell gets the switch onto Porter Jr. And Donovan Mitchell from the foul line. Where both teams played so well in game 1, I think both coaches were pretty happy, to be honest.
You think if you're Utah, I mean, now your three-point defense has to be better in regards to being closer to the shooter and not allowing spot-up shots. But overall, defensively, they played pretty well. Ingles, once your game plan, you just make minor adjustments to take away some of those easy open looks that Denver was able to get.
The drop off back to Jokic, little floater. Nikola, 5 years of age. 40 career triple-doubles. He has 4 triple-doubles in 15 playoff games. Gobert started the move around. O'Neal passed it up. Ingles will launch and drop it through. So what a big for Murray there. So Ingles handling. How hot is he?
Not that hot.
Wide right.
Not that hot. He checked.
So Denver 4 of 9. And Utah 6 of 8 in the early going. Approaching the midpoint of the first quarter. Jokic will tee up the triple and drop it through. You could.
Jokic right there, 31% three-point shooter, able to knock in shots. Beautiful pass and backdoor cut by Mitchell. O'Neal.
Was that he doesn't feel that scoring 57 was a blown opportunity for the team to win that game. And Bob, Jim, Mitchell is just so even-keeled. And Snyder said because of Mitchell's leadership, the mind.
A problem with the bubble for the Nuggets.
Well, and Mike Malone understands, too, when you have an outstanding offensive performance, your defense is going to relax. And he's harping to his man. You see a corner jump shot by Moody.
DJ Dozier has checked in. Jokic has had the hot hand. That's only his 2nd miss. And he's got 11 of Denver's 18. Clarkson all the way to the rim again. If you're able to knock it away, Emmanuel Mudiay all the way to the iron. And there's Clarkson again. So 10 unanswered by Monte Morris. Working on Mudiay. We'll use the Grant screen. Jeremy Grant, head of the key, 3, perfect. Who closes quarters better? Not just the 4th quarter, all the quarters. Monte Morris, and that's a quick 2 for 1.
Minutes, and what do you see? He responds.
Like the Michael Porter's first points from the foul line. Not always heating up from the 3. Made the 2 free throws. Mudiay took the body and still had.
And then utilize a soft touch off the glass.
Dozier turning that over. Mudiay running it right back. Ingles and Clarkson with Niang, Mudiay out top. Tony Bradley is in for Gobert right now in the middle. Shot clock down to 5. Niang's got to make something out of nothing. A little step back from the elbow. And George Niang out with a 4-point lead in the ball. A couple minutes into the second. Niang catch and shoot, rimming that out. And both second units right now, it's getting a little ragtag. Clarkson again.
Our guy.
And drops into 3 shots.
Yeah. Hey, listen. When you hire someone, you got a gun for hire right there, so to speak. You got to let him shoot, and that's what he does. Sometimes he can frustrate you in regards to taking tough shots, but when he's on, he's tough to manage.
Dozier, that's Porter Jr.'s game right there. That is the best runner for Morgan, who had made one earlier. Niang gets the ricochet, he will launch, and so 3's wild right now. But Utah 6 of 13, Denver 4 of 9 from distance. Monte Moore, a second in the league in assist-to-turnover ratio. Michael Malone says they just trust him with the ball. He's running this unit right now. Corner made one. How about another?
See the rivets, and also it froze Niang for an instant that allowed him to get that shot up clean.
Mitchell, you see 2 Nuggets come right to him. A knock away, but Niang control. Shot clock at 7. Donovan Mitchell dropping it back to Royce O'Neal. Nice shovel inside. What a finish with the physicality.
The rest, you know, your heavy minute guys. So we're going to keep our eye on Gobert. Also, Donovan Mitchell. Right? And you can give him in-game rest by taking him off the ball at times.
Michael Porter Jr. is dominating. Great passer.
Those guys, especially at the high post or the free throw line, they love to pass the ball. So all we have to do is cut and get open. We knew we would receive it on time, on target, so now we could just score.
Michael Porter Jr. when a shooter is hot. Keep feet ahead, Portland.
And that's not a bad pick because of how they were playing. Now, Orlando was a totally different story in regards to them being able to, get game 1.
Right. Well, the game's already in the playoffs. Only day 3, and they've been incredible. Jamal Murray flipping it up and in.
Great 2-man.
Out to the end. Good closeout by Porter Jr. Beats the buzzer, but off back iron. And Porter with a rebound. Look at the rookie play D.
No, under control that time, not over-committing and allowing Niang to get by him.
Millsap.
They got to get going right here.
That's a little bang. How about that? He just rode.
Time, you just try to take over.
Yeah, Jamal Murray's saying, hey, we're up 3. Donovan Mitchell saying, okay, a lot of attention on me, we're only down 3. Where's the game? Clarkson, another 3. So
come on. Zach, you my man, but you don't have to call that. You really don't. There's way more contact. We have more contact up here between these glass right here.
They put Murray on the block, turn, and rim that out. So Ingles has handled more in this game than we saw in game 1. They're giving Mitchell a little bit of a rest and a beautiful little dive on the push out. Jokic is the trailer. He had it poked away. They throw ahead to Gobert. Can he beat Murray to the rim? He does and draws the foul. Who's ever scouting foreign big guys for the Nuggets? They knew what they were doing. Denver has had the big drought here, and Utah's built the 7-point lead. And speaking of Denver big guys, Jokic ends the drought.
To get Jokic in a familiar area right in the middle of the free throw line and knock down a jump shot.
Ingles the initiator. Catch and shoot. And there is Royce O'Neal.
Cross-court pass.
O'Neal struggled shooting the ball in game 1, but the assist and then making that 3 here. Utah, this has been a wonderful first half. Jokic up and under on Gobert. Big on big for the ball handle. Inside 2 minutes remaining in the first half. Step back and rattling that home. As great as I think Charles will keep mentioning that Portland pick probably a few times.
Why not?
Jokic missing the floater. So Utah, 8-point lead in the ball. Again, how do you close quarters? Catch and shoot Royce O'Neal for 3. Royce O'Neal cycle it to Clarkson. And he beat the buzzer off iron and Gobert. They're going to count that basket and we go to 0-0. Murray went through the whole Jazz roster but couldn't make the layup. And there's Ingles headed the other way.
Well, another one of those missed opportunities that Coach Malone talked about. And then good teams. Oregon.
So the assist total has already surpassed game 1 for the Jazz. Good defense leading to offensive transition. Biggest lead is expanded now to 15. Michael Porter Jr. out of the corner. And I'll tell you, MPJ.
About Kobe was this: as he transitioned later in his career, he became more of the mentor to young players. And that's the beauty about growth, being a great player, sharing some of that knowledge, lifelong knowledge, when they make these young guys better basketball.
You know that Mason Plumlee changed his uniform from 24 to 7, and he's been working at Lower Merion High School in the offseason. Gave him another appreciation half. Has given them control here. Morgan hit the side of the backboard, followed his own shot.
Boy, he was so wide open. He was able to get the offensive rebound because of slow rotation by the Nuggets, and now they paid for it again by giving up open spacing, and they're knocking down jump shots.
Michael Porter Jr. missing. Jokic sneaking inside, rebound, and finish.
Got inside of Rudy Gobert, but then smartly used the opposite side of the rim to lay it up.
Donovan Mitchell with the three. Grinding. I mean, there's a flow to it.
But you also know in the back of your mind that this Denver team, see right there with the basket, can make a run.
Yes.
Time he was able to convert.
So midway through the third with Utah leading by 16. Denver got game one in overtime. Jazz trying to even the series. Mitchell down the lane with a kick out. Catch and shoot three. They made 5 straight threes. That is just Mitchell getting all his teammates involved. Murray trying to answer, and he does. So Jamal digit games. He's got 18 off the bench. Hanging and sent away is Murray. And Royce O'Neal pushes the other way. Up 14 with the ball are the Jazz. Mitchell and Murray matched up out top. And now Mitchell directing traffic with Porter Jr. on the switch. 2 men to take the ball out of his hand. Shot clock at 3. There's a skip pass. O'Neal out of the corner. And there's the adjustment. Basketball. The Jazz shooting 57% from the field and threes.
Kind of like the percentages that the Nuggets had the first game. Huh?
I see how it is. I see how it is.
Role reversal.
Shot clock at 5. Clarkson on Monte Morris. Clarkson inside. Jordan Clarkson.
Offensive play, and of course when Jordan Clarkson gets inside, he can finish.
Monte Morris rattling out the 3, and Gobert another rebound. But for the Utah Jazz, you lose a heartbreaker in overtime. This kind of response has been impressive. Mitchell for 3. 18 of 31 and the biggest lead of the night.
And think about this. Last game, Utah made 16 threes on 47 attempts. Already have 18 being efficient.
Right now, if you're Denver, you need something, and you need it in a hurry heading into the fourth. Donovan Mitchell.
Jazz by cluttering up space, but Plumlee patiently got 2.
There's Donovan Mitchell with the 2. And Jeremy Grant playing with P.J. Dozier, Jamal Murray, and Monte Morris. Ingles right down the lane, and that's too easy.
Well,
Nikola Jokic, the numbers have been there, but for the Denver Nuggets, it's this end of the floor, defensively, that has been the issue. Jordan Clarkson already working on a career high. That's a half-court steal by Royce O'Neal. Ingles for 3. And there's Gobert to follow it home. Playoffs a year ago. It's an incredibly young team. 2 7-game series. I mean, they've already, they went to the end twice before being eliminated. So they're no stranger to long playoff series. Ingles to Gobert, forgot to catch the ball. But Gobert somehow got it back. He's trapped under the backboard. Shot clock down to 2. Clarkson weaving, floating, flipping it in. That is
3 to get all the way down the lane with the shot clock going down.
Keep the ball in front of you.
Just saying. Now, I know it was a broken play. Don't get me wrong, but that still, with 3 seconds, was just too easy.
Michael Porter Jr. Little reload 3 out of the corner. We saw
in Golden State with Clay and Steph Durant was there. You know what I mean? I don't know if you heard of those guys, but
yeah, I've seen a few threes made in my life
from deep distance with ease.
Flipping it up and in is Michael Porter Jr. Quinn Snyder. If we said, hey, how about 30 assists and only 6 turnovers? You think he would have taken that? I mean, you can't play any better team basketball. Yeah. Michael Porter Jr. is going to keep firing.
Why not? 3-point line shooting, inside the arc, they were highly efficient. This game, it's Utah. I predict a closer tougher
hurts because you feel so bad for Gordon Hayward or any player that gets hurt.
Yeah, and that time too, he was in a scrum, went up for a rebound, and came down awkwardly on his ankle. I've been.
Everybody getting an opportunity. Mie Oni was the one who missed that three. So Troy Daniels getting a chance to play here, along with Keita Bates-Diop. As both teams have emptied the bench, Troy Daniels can be a flamethrower. On a big loss, do you have a big film session, or do you just turn the page? How do you handle that?
Are you talking about for Denver?
Yeah,
For Denver. My film session is showing the body language and lack of effort. That's what Daniels. Other stuff over here, I'm showing that because it's too important right now where we're at, because it was questions last year about our toughness and being able to fight through things, and we lost in the playoffs. So we're not going to have that again. I'm going to show that film.
For Utah, they're going to show a lot of good things, but probably not get too cocky in a 1-1 series. And again, what will the meal rooms be like across from each other at the hotel?
Well, one will be talkative and one will be silent.